I want to tell you, I would like to say to you that it's a very powerful slogan. Is it a slogan or a tagline when you have a thing? 2 Jews, 2 microphones, 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's very powerful. It works.
Yeah, see how much power it's held.
Well, forget about the fact that no one's listening.
Okay.
That this isn't going to move things ahead for us.
Right.
We don't feel, I'm using air quotes now, good about it. Oh. This is the first time in my relationship with Lucky that Lucky has brought to me a ball.
Lucky you.
You know what? I know what your game is, Josh. Yeah. You don't like when anybody else gets affection from a dog. It's a classic thing. It's a classic. Let me guess. Minneapolis, Minnesota Jew, right?
That's our trait.
Yeah.
We hate it when other people get affection from dogs.
Fan of Arlo.
That's such a stereotype, Andy.
Fan of Arlo or Woody Guthrie style hats.
Yeah.
I'm making jokes about what you could only appreciate if you could see. It's like a roast where you can't see anything.
Get it all out, Napoleon.
Also, I want to say going in, I don't know if we've started, but
sure.
I want to say going in that
start with your insult.
My teeth hurt, first of all.
Really?
Hey. Yeah.
Is it the sugary snacks?
First of all, you will, like, with your dagger of observation and ability to get to the core. You know, that's really true. Everything you said was true. The sugary snacks are not good. But it's not just the sugary snacks. It's also eating food always on one side of my mouth because I'm still waiting for the permanent front teeth. Now, people have been wiring. They've been wiring me all day today. People have been wiring me and Instagramming me.
Yeah.
And Friendstering me saying, "What's up with your permanents?" Well, I had my permanents in. And he played around with them, and I had nitrous, and it was beautiful.
Okay.
But he still has more adjustments to make on it. So I still can't eat. So I can't eat with my front teeth, like, you know.
But these are your permanent front teeth you can't eat with now. You're not just not eating with temps anymore.
No, these are temps because he's taking out.
Oh.
I was high on the laughing gas.
All right.
It sounds like something that's wrong, right?
Right. And you bit the basin that you're supposed to spit in.
But I heard him say something about he's got to do something with them now.
Okay.
Like he's going to be like not adjusting them, but playing around with them. I don't know if he paints them individually.
This is a very long process.
And the bill.
So now it's cosmetic. Now he's matching.
Oh, of
tone
course.
now.
Yes. Can I just say one thing?
This is where science becomes art.
Science becomes art. Oh, that's a perfect segue into, and the bill reflects that.
Aha.
There's something wrong with the bill.
The insurance will pay for the science, not the art, I'm afraid.
There's something wrong with the bill. What's wrong with the bill?
It's made out to me.
There's something wrong with the bill. Check the bill. It's too high. But everything I do is Beverly Hills approved.
Yeah, that's good.
So my teeth ache every couple of weeks. They ache, which is like an obsessive compulsive thing.
How often? I'm sorry. I was being distracted by my dog.
Well, every couple of weeks. No, every few months. It's not even a good story, even well told. But the point is, I eat, something happens and my teeth become so sensitive.
Right.
And because there's one tooth on that.
Take off the gas mask.
Oh, there's one tooth on that side of the mouth that I think is going to need a root canal at one point.
Oh,
but
geez.
It doesn't need a root canal yet. No. And a lot of people have been writing to me, Josh.
Fill it with gummy bears in the meantime.
No, I know, that's the thing. I can't justify my lifestyle.
No, you can't. You're an art member.
I convinced myself that gummy bears are fine because on the way down, they're just kind of squishy.
Yeah.
But when you retract, now you're like, oh, what's loose? What can I grab onto? I'm not high like you think I am.
No.
I'm a little bit high.
Okay.
Because earlier, look, I can't reveal the details, but I was somewhere today where I needed to.
You're at the hospital. You can say that. You just can't say who.
Oh. Oh?
Right?
I want to make, would you allow me to pretend that my life is like redacted? That my life is so thrilling, it's
Right.
redacted? Josh.
Yes.
Because of my sensitive relationship with the U.S. government, they hate me. I can't reveal everything that I was doing today. Right. So I was at the hospital. What was my point about being at the hospital?
I don't know, but you made fun of my hat, and now you're wearing a hood, and you look like such a dildo.
That's not funny. My father was a dildo.
Yes, I hear.
Look, I'm so mad at you now because I don't get any momentum. Hey, when Joe Namath was... Who would they say Joe Mentum? Was it for Joe Namath?
I don't know.
I don't know. Shut up. Shut up, both of us. Shut up, both of us. All right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Thought Spiral. I'm your host, one of your hosts, Andy Kindler.
I can't.
I don't know why I thought you would jump in like the hacky character. How can you yes and my hacky character?
I'm not going to do it.
Tonight, the show.
See, that'll always jump up for it.
Right. If there's anything that enables you to go into your Michael Winslow-like impressions.
So you spent the day at the hospital. We won't say who, but it was very nice of you to go visit this person who we both know.
Right. But when people say that's very nice, it makes me feel like there's not going to be a lot of attendance when I'm on my last legs. And first of all, why would I be on my last legs, Josh? Why do they call them last legs? Does that mean that what's the deal with what's the second to last legs? I don't know. It seems like there's a joke there.
It seemed like it, and then you pounded it for a while, and nothing came out.
Why do they say deathbed? Because you die in it? Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize to our core listeners.
Yeah.
Because, we've started what we call a ransom fund, and we have a relationship with a few some high rollers who listen to the show.
Right.
Jen Kirkman.
Right.
And
they download the file, and occasionally the ransomware will freeze up their stuff.
We send a thing to Jen Kirkman every day saying, Jen Kirkman, your computer is frozen. It is no use. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Hey, we're
wire us Bitcoin, and then explain to us how to get the Bitcoin.
If you don't supply us with your PIN number immediately, and also the numbers on your card. I don't know. Look, my thing is I don't do voices.
That's almost as convincing as the actual scam calls I get from this is the IRS about to, we are filing criminal charges against you.
I like when they say, did I say that? I may have said this right. They said, you're in trouble with the police, or you're in trouble. It's almost to the level of, you're in big trouble, buddy boy.
Yeah.
It does not sound like an official notice.
I got one that spooked me once when I got off the plane from Singapore home, and it was a very Asian voice, and it was like cut off. So the beginning wasn't there. So
right.
I was just like, well, if it is Singapore related, I'm here now. So
then you were able to get over it quickly.
I got over it pretty quickly.
You know why?
And then those scam calls started happening more, and I backfilled that I wasn't in trouble in Singapore.
I don't know what backfilling means.
Well, contextualize it.
No.
Okay.
Don't try and make your lingo, because everyone's doing that these days. On the new, you hear some idiot like Chris Christie, I know you love him, just reconsider. And he'll say something like, he's going to be a tour guide. Michael Cohen's going to be a tour guide. And he thinks he's such a genius, Chris Christie, because I wouldn't worry about Mueller. I'd worry about the Southern District. I just so much want Chris Christie to go to jail for many, many years.
Wow.
Would you back me up on that?
I don't know. I just was wondering why you would interrupt me for that little piece of old man anger.
What were you saying?
Exactly.
No, seriously. What were you saying? Were you saying something?
I was trying to.
Okay, back to you.
Okay.
Back to you at the front desk.
I said backfill.
Yes. What does that mean?
It means to fill the stuff that came behind you.
Oh, so you're going to catch us up on what the current state is of the topic you were talking about?
Yes, exactly.
And welcome to Thought Spiral. You're the one who named it Thought Spiral. You didn't name it like list of things cogently talked about.
Right.
Hot, quick, assertive takes on today's issues with Crackerjack Energy.
So you went to Illinois, right? Over the weekend?
I went to Illinois.
Womp, 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 womp.
And I went by boom. I like anything. I think the only way you can go now to make money on a song, if that's what you want to do, and you don't care about creativity, trying to make money, you got to go for states. You know, it's like Chicago, oh sweet home Chicago. You got to go for. I'm woken up in Illinois. Ba-boom. Look, take that out, Josh. Take that out, and also
man?
everything I've said so far. I want to be. You know, the joke was going to be. The joke was going to be sing about states instead of cities, but that's not really a joke.
No.
And I don't want to hear my own voice starting to sing now in any context. I don't want I want to sing like Jerry Lewis. I don't want that.
No.
Nor do I want more than the words. You know, like I'm trying to sound. Is this real or mocking real? More than the greatest joy had no. Besides being off key, what is it?
I don't know.
Okay, look, I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's like your failed SNL audition or something. That's what it looks like. It's an outtake from that.
You know what's sad? You know, you say that, but what's sad is that I keep on my nightstand my laminated, if called at the last minute. Like, I hear they're going to have an old man contest.
Yeah.
To be a guest host.
So you wear your audition alert bracelet?
Hi, I've lost my index cards, and I can't get up. I'm sorry about that joke. It wasn't that bad because I said I lost my index cards. They changed the top end.
No, it was good.
Yeah, so I went to Illinois, and I went to not Chicago, but I went to Aurora, but they say, let's not call it Aurora. Let's call it Fox City Mall, or I don't know what they want us to call it. Oh, I'm leaking. I got into this thing, Josh.
Is there now stuff on the leather couch that I should be worried about?
Oh, my God. When you say when you emphasize leather in the word.
But is there?
No, I think it's dried.
Okay.
I think it's dried. But look, I'm trying to be professional. I'm trying to pretend we're doing this live to tape.
Yeah.
So let me see. Now it's completely dry.
Okay, excellent.
But I'm very excited about this. This is an aluminum container. It's made in Chicago. And the whole thing is asking me what I've learned about why this is better than, except for the fact that if you don't put the top on, it leaks. But it asked me why it's better.
Okay. All right. Why is it better?
I know. It didn't gain nothing to the story. Because it's aluminum. And they say it's infinitely recyclable.
Yeah.
So come on. You know what I'm saying to plastic? Get off my, not on my watch. Not on my plastic swatch.
Yeah. Why are you drinking it with a straw, though?
Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. And not just a straw, a crazy straw. Did you ever have a crazy straw?
Sure.
All right. It's just not that funny. You know, I'm very sensitive now. I'm very sensitive about that. I want
coherent.
I want to be accepted.
Okay. Well,
it's not going to happen.
Tune in.
And so I did 2 nights at the Comedy Shrine in, it's like Aurora. It's near Naperville. I don't know what people know about. Do you know that area? I don't even know where Chicago is.
Okay.
Do you know where Chicago is? Big shot?
I do.
Where? Where is it? No. I mean, in relation to the rest of Illinois.
Northern Illinois.
How would you? Really?
Yes.
Don't make me check it.
Okay.
It's probably true, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So this is 30 minutes. Ask you which direction. Now we're getting into the weeds.
It's west.
You know what? You could say it's west. You could tell me names of things, and it would go out of my narcissistic head. You know, because unless it was, I'm like Trump. Here's how I am like Trump. If I'm not on Andy Kindler Drive, or Jew Lane, or Hi Andy Boulevard, right. I don't remember anything.
No, I know. You do remember that I've talked to you 97 times.
Yeah, and you've said things like
more than an hour for the last 100 weeks.
What people don't see is that probably 30 of those episodes you you had to offer me candy to finish because I start to nod off.
Right.
And you go, Andy, what's
Well,
it gonna
first
take?
I had to offer you candy to lure you into the house for those first episodes.
It's a creepy Stranger Joe.
Speaking of creepy, Amelia Fox sent another song that I just can't play because it's another comedy rap, which, you know.
Right there.
I tire of Amelia.
Yes, that's a.
And it's all about you having sex with my dog, basically. So
you or me?
No,
I don't know. Can't know if I can take that early on in the show.
Exactly.
I don't know how does that help?
It doesn't
me?
pass muster for me, really, Amelia. I'm sorry,
Emilio. First of all, I want to go. If you wanted to ask me, Andy, do you want to go? Do you want to emphasize the fact that Josh took a creepy picture of you looking creepy on top of the dog? You want to go more in that direction?
Act like that was the big incident in the Andy Lucky
I'm just saying you've had it in for me from the beginning.
Well, I have, that's for sure.
This is very much like, what's a classic a radio duo feud? This is just like it happened with Ken and Bob.
Sure.
Ken and Bob.
Yeah, that's who you went with.
Yeah, so 2 nights, and I had only drawn enough for one show each night.
Really?
And each show was fun, which I'm always afraid it's not going to be. And then I did improv 2 nights.
Really?
Yeah. Because they didn't have enough for the 10 o'clock show, and they have an improv show. And I was...
so you did improv as a late show instead of doing stand-up?
Both nights.
Okay.
And it was fun. Because here's the thing. Part of me is...
And did you do Yes, Andy as a joke?
I didn't do that, no. I didn't do that. You know what? I failed. Because you're not supposed to bring in pre-existing bits. I didn't want them to take my characters.
Right.
It was really fun, though. The guy, Dave Sinker, is from Second City. And these people are very... You forget... Not that you forget, but they were very funny. You know, we're living in Trump land, or Trump era, not Trump land, Trump era. And you think that everything is going to be sour at some points. But then you realize... There's many, many funny people and talented people, and I don't know. I'm sounding like I'm at a telethon or something. Anyway, I was able to do some improv, which I'd like to guess what my first impulse is to do when I'm doing the improv. What would you think would be my impulse?
Talk and do something Jewy.
But then, how about breaking the fourth wall, huh? I don't know. What am I? Boom, boom, boom. And I've come to actually accept that there's only...
It's called bailing.
Bailing is only so funny. It's only so funny. It's actually hacky.
Yeah, it can be.
My whole career has been hacky. So, it was good. I mean, some stuff I can't... It's scary. I think it's scary because I've never... Not scary, but it is scary on any level when it's like, you two stand here and immediately start talking.
Right.
So... And so it was. How much of besides Sinner Schmoop Schmang Schmang Schmang? How much improv have you done?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about the face.
I'm sorry. What is Snane Snippy Schmoom Schmang?
Besides Cinematic Titanic,
okay.
And its various affiliates.
Yeah.
How much improv have you done on? I'm not saying on camera.
Okay. Yeah.
I just started so creepy.
Well, that thing with you on camera was all improv. The kids' court. But I've done stage improv a fair amount over the, not for many years, but in the early days, quite a bit.
I used to be like, I have no, what's it going to do for me? Like I wanted it to,
right. And
now I actually see, and I came up with things the other night where it's like, except for the fact that I want to say, hey, improv, I'm a stand-up, except for that attitude, there's no reason why I can't have fun doing it.
Right.
And I did.
Good. No, I always had fun doing it. I never had fun watching it, but I always had fun doing it.
Now we're talking, that's the, what's the word? The thing in the road, not the fork in the road, but.
The rub?
It is the rub. Yes. It's a dry rub.
Okay.
The point being.
Holy shit, you're annoying tonight.
My feelings would get hurt if I didn't realize how horrible I am. I have a new signature laugh. You ready?
Yeah.
Ask me if I can replicate. Don't ask me, but demand that I replicate it.
I will demand it. Not right now. Nope. Nope.
Don't. It's not something you do the same way twice. That's why you're a square.
Like a signature, you mean?
Yeah. Have you seen Donald Trump? Hey, you know what? Do you know that they've analyzed Donald Trump's signature?
Yeah.
And what it is how you lie in lie detector.
Yeah.
If you superimpose that, it says I would kill people. You turn it horizontal, and it says I would kill people. I'm sweating. I did it. I've cheated on my wife, and I've done everything you think of that I could do, including kill people.
Right.
Because he has killed people. I don't know why you defend him.
So it's like a barcode more than anything.
Absolutely right. And don't say anything about the fact that your dog, Lucky, loves me and comes up to me. I can't throw away the love. But your problem is, why can't I chew gum and pet a dog at the same time? I'm wondering that. That's why my acting, this is why I know my acting is, let's just say it's not top notch. It's whenever they're like, if I have one thing to do in a scene,
yeah,
I'm all over. It's like, oh, you drink coffee and also pet the dog a little bit. Hey, whoa, slow down.
You forget I co-starred in a movie with you.
And you said to me, I can't tell you how many times you said to me, it's like what an honor it is for me to act with such a master. Are you teaching a master class yet?
No, that's Friday at Second City.
Oh, but yours is legit. Yours is too legit to quit. But well, first of all,
they actually did use the word master class in the last email, which
doesn't matter. I think they think that word means class or something. I don't know what they think it is. And
it's really master that really would be the active part of that.
Have you already talked about promoting
my ego
it?
Stroking. Huh?
Have you promoted it on the last podcast?
No, it's for students at a school.
Oh, so stay away?
Yes, don't come. Come the next night to our show.
Which I've been promoting nonstop. And when I say nonstop, I've retweeted it a couple of times.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Look, I don't say it because I want to compliment, but I say it because I want to compliment.
Well, I thanked you. Is that enough?
No, because I'm so horrified by my own, it's not avarice, by my own neediness.
Yeah.
I find it off-putting. And you just said that I'm more annoying tonight than usual.
Yeah, you are.
I think it's this voice. 65 degrees. This is a 65 degrees downtown Los Angeles type voice.
Because you're aggressively meandering tonight.
You know it. Partly cloudy, scattered sunlight. Who scatters the sunlight? All right, I'm back.
This feels like the old days.
No, it's not that bad.
It does. It feels like the old days when we had to convince you that you're not that funny when you're stoned.
Well, I got progressively stoned over the day, so yeah. I haven't smoked any pot all day long because I was at the hospital. I'm not an idiot.
It was edibles.
I had edibles.
Yeah.
So I thought the edibles by now, you know what I thought? If I did some edibles during the day, I'd be razor sharp by now.
All right.
Razor sharp. I wish I could blame my non-focus on the fact that yes, maybe I am trying to relieve my own pain through taking pot in various forms. I'm trying to help myself get through a difficult time. Spring! Okay, I'll stop now, which is worse. I'll withdraw from the conversation.
Did you go to the Brody Stevens thing last night?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about that.
That was
Then I'll tell you about my weekend.
Would you like to tell me about your weekend first?
No, I want to hear about the Brody Stevens
thing. So the Brody Stevens thing was really, I thought it was really, really great. Now, they had two parts to it. And I couldn't stay for the second part because it started at 7 o'clock, and now it was about 11 o'clock, and then the second part was about to start.
Wow.
So I admit that I left at 11, but the reason why I left was the fear that they would be having a thing where people, and I have no idea what they were going to do, where they'd have anybody want to come up here.
Yeah.
Or so it's like, maybe that's just a narcissistic thing. And I just thought wouldn't want to go up there. And I would feel very, very uncomfortable because, I don't know, just thinking about it made me uncomfortable. And also it was 4 hours in.
Right.
So
what were the 4 hours comprised of?
Well, the 4 is actually, I would say, 3 hours. It was like 3 hours, and then there was a long break.
Okay.
It was, first of all, they had these people from his life And a lot of people who were involved with baseball, it's like he knew. I guess he was like friends with Dick Van Dyke, and he's friends with the Cubs manager, and he's friends with all of these baseball people. And you really learn like he was. I had no doubt that he wasn't a great pitcher. He wasn't a great pitcher. He was like the only thing that stopped him was he got an injury, an elbow injury. It sounds like he could have, if it was around during the Tommy John days, it would have been like that's now a fairly easy operation to prolong a pitcher's career.
Right.
So he was great, but just the whole focus on the Valley and how much he was into the Valley, and they had played a great video of his life. I always thought he was just so hilarious, and so they played a video of different things, and I actually remembered that I met Brody first in Seattle. He has a friend who spoke. His name's like Tata. I feel like an old Jew trying to remember a name. His name is Tata. But he spoke, and I remember. Wow, that's what I met Brody that long ago, 4 years ago. And my feeling about him immediately was that I really knew he was a character and was saying, "Yeah, I'll play. I like what he's doing."
Right.
It's entertaining to me. That he's like, "I'm with Andy Kindler. Here we are, Seattle. What brings you to town?" Zach started it out and gave he found it hard to hold it together because he was so emotional. He just talked about Brody, and just like how much you could see he loved Brody, but just like the first person he introduced his wife Quinn to as one of his friends was Brody.
Yeah.
And they got into an argument about politics because Zach was like, "I do not agree with his politics." So he immediately got in a big argument with Quinn about politics, Brody.
Yeah.
And then at some point, his phone went off and it was playing the Star Spangled Banner. It was like that kind of thing. So right away, he was like a character. And I don't know, I kind of like, and then Jeff Ross came out and he talked about that when he first met Brody just came to all of his shows and wouldn't stop coming. And he had a big audition with HBO. He said, Brody, don't come.
Yeah.
Do not come. Brody came to that thing. I'm sorry. He sat up in the front row. There's no other seats. So it was really pretty amazing because, especially the Valley stuff, and the fact that he grew up with his friend who was a catcher, and they both. He was a pitcher, his friend was a catcher, and the friend's father ended up being his coach, and he was this tight-knit group of people where he ended up being with them, and originally was embarrassed about being from the Valley, and then, and then ended up just using it as part of his act.
Right.
Everything was great. It was really great. And people were crying. I find it hard to cry sometimes. But then I find it hard to stop being self-conscious.
Right.
Is my big problem. Not problem. Is my big reality. I'm thinking as what I'm looking like. It's hard for me to get out of that mode. I mean, I can, but
right.
It's just, but it was very, very, and the thing about Brody was he had this thing with some kind of, I think, bipolar 1 and it's a very hard thing under the best of circumstances to treat, like the kind that he had with a lot of mania and.
Right.
But
that's the one where you make a bunch of pancakes on the teetering tower, right?
You mean like those commercials now? Are you out of control? I love when they show commercials, like they have to show people freaked out, do electricity and get turned off. Like, they have to remind these people. Like, you have to, I forgot. I am horribly panicked 24 hours a day.
Right.
But the thing that they did show that was pretty much amazing for him was how the thing that I relate to with him and some comics like Eddie Pepitone and Todd Glass is like I relate to with Brody. Why are you not laughing? You're not laughing. Crossed arms, negative energy. Crossed arms, negative energy.
Right.
And his thing was like even more to the point of I haven't even done a joke, but I want you to laugh at me. It's like
complete deconstruction.
Complete deconstruction. Although he's to me, if you can do that joke to me that LA Weekly joke is still the funniest joke. I mean, he just came up with funny jokes. So it's like it wasn't like with Todd Glass or with Eddie Pepitone or with people who are explosively. They seem in the moment. There's always, but anyway, for better or worse, he refused to allow the audience off the hook in terms of engaging him. And I do that all the time. I mean, also in my own life, for better or worse, I always thought it was hilarious when the way he worked.
But you don't actually engage, I have to say. I mean, you break away from what you're saying and narrate what's in your head, but you don't necessarily go for someone to respond to you. You don't go for an individual response.
No, but he's doing the same thing that I would do, just in a different way of like, this guy's doing this. She's not happy.
Right.
This guy over here, it's like looking down. He goes to the thing where he say one-on-one. What is it? I want you to laugh. And he's actually using these kind of tambourine effects and things. So, I mean, it really is hard to describe why someone like that is funny, but I really appreciated that he was always like that, as he was always in the moment. And someone else like that is Jen Kirkman. Is someone, I mean, she's not like Brody, but she's always in the comedians who seem to be not just in the moment, but seem to be more. Jen even more, willing to talk about things that are not, that's just the thing she's talking about in that moment.
Right.
I don't think I do. I mean, I try to do that, but it's with the new joke I have.
Right. Yeah. You don't ever delve into a topic on stage.
I can't tell wait a second.
You just don't.
Oh, I thought you. It
wasn't a ragging on you. You just don't ever. No, but there's no topics in your act.
I feel like it's always possible that the thing you're saying might be sarcastic. I always have to be open to that possibility. But then I realized very quickly, yeah, of course, you don't see. Ooh, did you hear Andy's bit about orange juice? I feel like I know everything about orange juice. Not only is it funny, but now it's how I feel about knowing orange juice. No, it's one bit. Boom. Move on.
All right.
All right. The point is, he's gone, and it's very sad. It's very sad because when someone kills themselves, it's just you can never describe it in an upbeat way. I don't know what you're supposed to do about it, honestly.
Right.
Well, you can't. I don't want to get into the. See, the thing is, I do get into the whole thing where I look at someone's. As I said a million times, I go into the museum. The first thing I look at is how long the person lived who painted the painting.
Right.
I'm always want to have that thing of he was a happy guy and it ended great. It's a sad thing. We wanted him to be here forever. And it's an incredibly sad way that he left. There's just no... But the fact of the way someone died, it does not obviously tell the whole story about them.
Right.
And it's a projection. Like, how could someone do that? Well, you weren't, I'm not saying people are doing that, but part of everyone does that.
There's just always that, you don't know if that decision was made in a moment or over years.
Well, in his case... I do think he was making impulse decisions about whether to stay on drugs or to go on drugs, and he was kind of his own captain of his own ship, which is, of course, you are your own captain of your own ship. But a lot of these things...
Yeah, but that's like being your own lawyer. It doesn't work out, usually. You haven't seen me at trial. You have not seen me at trial when I am on trial. Your Honor, when I said to Esther, my accountant... Well, boy, I'd really like to see what's underneath your dress. I thought I had dropped a receipt down her dress. Thank you, Mr. Kindler. You're a witness.
All right, I'm sorry. It's not bad improv for me, though.
No, it was great.
But you're supposed to, instead of like...
And blackout.
No,
how's that?
You don't look at me
better?
like a friend doesn't look at another friend like he's off his meds. The guy's looking... I got Kim Jong-un over there looking like he's off his meds.
Here, hold on one sec. Beep. Just wanted to put in a little edit point. Thanks.
And don't bullshit me. You know what's going to happen to you, my friend? You're going to be wrestling with yourself, which is a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 3 a.m. and Alex Brazell is ready to do his master class in mastering. Beep, 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 boop. Have you heard my new theremin playing? Yeah, just stop me. And if you complain about this after the podcast, I'm going to tell you that it does not count as me trying to sabotage the podcast. This is me trying to sabotage my entire career.
Gotcha.
And we're back. Was there anything happening that I should be concerned about?
No.
But I've never seen...
Normal dog maintenance.
Oh, okay. All right. Because what I think is... Oh, God, I was going to launch. I had 3... There's only 2 choices for me. Say an obnoxious thing.
Yeah.
Or... I don't see what the second choice is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... What else? Hey, were we supposed to watch a movie?
No, we never got to
Okay,
one.
and I wanted to pitch, and unless we've already talked about this, I'd like to pitch Being John Malkovich, and you've probably seen it.
I have.
Okay. Now, I'm not, obviously we can't do that one now since you've seen it, but would that be a good one to do? Is it a good movie? Just tell me if it's a good movie. I don't even care about the thing. If you don't think it's a good movie, I might never watch it.
It's worth seeing. I mean,
that's terrible.
It's inventive.
It's inventive. Is it like inventive, like Merdman, like what's the one that goes backwards? Redman, Murmur, Memento.
Memento.
Yeah, he starts out. He's Benjamin Button. It ends with him being a shiny skinned baby. Look, if I had to call this section filling time, I still feel like you're out. I feel like your mind isn't me turning the tables. What's the matter with you? Your mind is somewhere else today. These are such effective slams. We're still in the first part of the show. That's the only thing I'm excited about.
Really?
I am kind of excited about it. So, anyway, I did pretty good on my 2 shows at the thing.
That's good.
And where were you?
I was here.
And what happened over here?
Allison and I did a gig on Sunday night as the Depreciators, as a duo for the first time.
And set the stage.
The first at David Huntsberger's junk show at the Copper Still on Beverly.
That sounds cool.
Which is perfect. He called us. He had a dropout, and so he called on Friday to see if we wanted to do Sunday, and that was perfect because it allowed us to just jump in and rehearse and woodshed and not worry or dread any of it.
So it was just you two.
Yeah.
And so you two were actually practicing a lot and enjoying that?
Yeah, it all went really well.
And were you writing new stuff?
No, we were just playing Allison classics.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good too because
one cover
makes you just feel like, you know.
But we just did 4 songs. But it was the first time we had gone out and really, played for strangers as a duo. So it was good.
And did that give you your mojo back? I'm sorry, I just want people like when they call it a mojo.
Well, it did Allison. I mean, Allison is the one who wrestles with her music mojo, because she.
So
she always feels like she's neglecting it somehow. So,
well, what's your relationship with it? You're like happy either way.
I'm happy either way. I just want to be good when we play out. So it was, but we did. It's a weird thing, because when we get into like actually rehearsing, I then become much more producerly than husbandly, because my mission is to do something good.
Wait a second. Let me see if I'm getting this right. You're saying that you're a little controlling in a situation like that, where I'm trying to compare it to our situation when we're working on the speech. I was trying to make a funny parallel.
But you know how I am. You can say it all sarcastically, but yeah, when it becomes a creative project, I get leadery.
You get very leadery. You do.
And Allison, appreciated that in this case and said so. But, it's a when you're being direct about things, I'm never mean, I don't think, but I'm direct about what's happening.
Yeah.
Well,
what do you mean?
It's a different tone than marriage. You know what I mean? That's the thing about a band, People are different when they're playing music than in real life.
Well, I don't know. It's like the way you're describing it, you could be anywhere from like a Genghis Khan type figure to a, I don't know, Marvin Gaye Sr. type presence.
It's none of that. None of it is stern at all.
Okay, right, but
it is it's direct. It's going, hey, that guitar part isn't working. It's
Well, then you're the arranger and the conductor of the piece. Isn't that what it is too?
Well, I mean, in this sort of, but there's two of us.
Not so, right, it's not that official.
It's just the thing is, Allison isn't a strong guitar player because she's always hidden in bands, It's just never been her thing to be a player. She's a great musician.
Right.
But she's not a strong player, and she doesn't practice much.
Right.
So, so it's easy for her to be lazy when she's playing acoustic, which doesn't work when there's just two of you. When there's bass and guitar, each side is important, So
yes,
it was she needed to listen and hear what was going on, and then make adjustments, and she did great.
I know exactly the feeling. I can be exactly in Allison's. I mean, I am considered to be one of the world's foremost rhythm guitar players.
Right. Allison's not that confident, so that was part of the thing. It's just,
I'm not that confident either.
Like at a certain point, the confidence and the commitment to playing is as important as hitting notes sometimes.
It's for me. I mean, it's why I can't perform. I mean, I could perform music, but I'm in not performing music shape, not even in 1/10 of it, because so much of it is like you could play in your living room, but then if you're playing out and you have to be aware of what your sound is like, and there's just so many things. It's like learning to be.
I call it the 20% rule.
Okay.
With music. And that's what I was trying to overcome this weekend, which is it can sound good in your living room, but it's going to be 20%. You're going to play it 20% shittier live if you're not playing regularly.
Yes.
And so you have to sort of over rehearse in order to compensate for that 20% that's going to happen.
Well, basically, for me as a rhythm guitarist, I would always overplay because I was a singer-songwriter guitarist. So when I would perform places, I would probably overplay there too. But you think you have to be the whole band, and it's very, very hard to go from too much to just the And I think I learned that. I think my mind was open to that.
Yeah. Well, in this case, it's the vocals that sell our thing the most. So it's just really having a solid bass underneath it.
That's why my thing was a failure.
That isn't, yeah.
My thing was horrible vocals.
Okay.
And a bad attitude. Now, wait a second. Don't give up. Don't give up because you're angry. Don't give up because you're angry. First of all, I know you long enough now to know what's going on. You're angry at me because I made some stupid remark.
No, not at all.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm just getting annoyed at you trying to
it's not
make it about you when I'm talking about our music.
It's not what you think.
And you then keep talking, well, when I do it in music, it's...
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself, it's a very annoying thing I do that I have to both prove. I, too, have a string. I, too, know how to open a thing. I, too, croak like a thing. I will withdraw from that, and I think let's pretend the last 15 seconds happened, but it's part of the blooper reel. And then...
so the point of my story is...
Thank you.
Is that in terms of both process and outcome, it was really fun and we had a good time and there wasn't any stress between us. It was like a really good process this time. There wasn't, there wasn't feelings getting hurt as we were, there was a common goal of like, hey, let's try to do the best we can.
Have you had that in the past?
Yeah, sometimes,
Yeah, and I would think you're easygoing to play with, so... But, everybody, it's almost a cliche to go, wow, your husband and wife and you're going to butt heads. But it's hard to do anything with two people.
It is, but it was, in this case, it's just, Allison gets, when I get into work mode, my agenda is make it good. It's not make me good,
Right.
It's not you're making me look bad or I'm not scolding. It's just.
Well, that, I think, unless you're, I don't want to say it's a childish thing because some of our most famous celebrities are guilty of not wanting people around them to be that good, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but it's not, I mean, I'm just saying that it was, like I said, she felt like my agenda was pure and therefore we were able to work really hard.
That's what I was trying to say. You know. Yeah. And, so I want to say to you, what's next?
I don't know. It was, what's next for me?
No, next for you too, musically. See, I always get excited about musical collaboration.
Yeah, no, it's one of the...
Or it's not just that I haven't done it in many, many years, because that's just another selfish thing. Oh, where's your band? Who cares? Obviously, my band is on hiatus or something. So it's exciting to hear about it. That's how I feel.
It was fun, and we'll definitely do more, and we're gonna keep playing.
And you're gonna jam with Bill Kaufman?
No, but but Gruber's coming over tomorrow, and we're gonna rehearse for the show in Chicago.
Oh, and this is all very exciting. It's very exciting. I don't even know what I'm doing next. I think I'm in town while you're leaving. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the real... I'm having more and more trouble discerning or distinguishing between the real day and the date of the podcast. Yeah. Are we 1 week behind everything, basically?
Basically, yeah.
Soon, we're going to have our 100th show.
It's true.
Would you like an OCD update?
Sure.
Okay. Because I was thinking about this. I said to myself, this Russia thing. I say that to myself 12 times a day. I said, oh, they know about the OCD. But they don't know necessarily, maybe people don't know some of the most annoying parts of it. So today, it always revolves around trying to get somewhere on time and setting unrealistic expectations minute by minute of how you can get to someplace on time, but knowing in the back of your head any diversion from going to where you're going is going to make you late, late. So I realize some of the things I do. People want to say I'm at 40 milligrams of Prozac, but the day of the taping, I was at a hospital today, but the day of taping, earlier in the week, I said to myself, I know what the thing to do is to get ready for the show. What I'm going to do, all I got to do is just do a journal. What did I do this week? What did I do this week? You write it down, the activities, because then at least you're not doing that thing where the stress or whatever has caused you to just obsess about how you can't remember what you're talking about. So, what was my point?
Fuck if I know. OCD update.
Okay, so then it starts to get to 10 minutes to 9. 10 minutes to 9, I start to do things that are just clearly irrational. And the thing till 9 o'clock or till whenever it's too late, I'm taking tissues into my pocket, and then everything I put into my pocket, because I think for the next 2 hours, where's my drink? Where's my aluminum water? It's just a process of meaningless tasks that are, I had to pull myself away from the deli plate I was eating,
Yeah.
So.
Did you steal that from the funeral? What was?
No, I was at Judy's Deli the other day. And I love Judy's Deli. Judy's Deli, brought to you by Thought Spiral. No, Thought Spiral, brought to you by Judy's Deli. So, I have to constantly stop myself from not unhealthy activity, but just useless activity. It's not like I'm working on a new physics theory, and I have to. My mind got absorbed by the time.
Right. It's just empty, twitchy ritual.
Well, I didn't want to leave my friend because no one was there. Someone was coming soon, but then I left. So I left. I got home at 8 o'clock, and then Susan has to take a nap. Now that could be a problem. So I'll get up at 8:30. I just could. 8:30 I got up, and then I started on the deli plate, which was a little chicken salad, a little this, boom, bang, boom, bang. And then I realized whenever I eat anything, I realize it either takes me 4 hours to eat something, or I don't understand how time and eating works. So then I have to wrap that up, put it in the refrigerator, debate what kind of a beverage I'm going to take. It all sounds, I'm not saying it doesn't sound interesting. I'm just saying it's just a constant weirdness almost. It's a weird energy thing. And I don't even really know what I'm feeling except pressure.
And the pressure was to get here?
The pressure is, it's not pressure. It's a simple task. We record the podcast at 9. Your job, should you just, like Mission Impossible, your job, should you decide to accept it, is to get over at 9 o'clock and start the podcast.
Right.
So, all of the things that I'm doing, I can make an argument that I had to take this dish and wash it. I had to check the pile of things on my desk. I can't even think of the things I do. I had to look at my backpack and rearrange every note in my thing. I can make an argument for anything I'm doing, but in general, it's like walking around in a fog, kind of.
Right.
A sluggish fog. And that's OCD Update with Andy Kindler. But I'm feeling generally better. I'm doing better.
Yeah.
But because the thing I have to let go of, and this is the only thing I'll say that I've learned anything, is that, if I didn't do the list of things I was supposed to do, I have to drop that at the beginning of the show. I have to drop all of these things that are attaching me to constantly thinking how I'm doing in the moment. It's not really different when I'm doing stand-up. It's just more annoying when you're feeling uncomfortable because you're doing it to yourself over and over and over and over. It's just noise.
Right.
What am I thinking? Was that funny? Was that good? Oh, okay. What, now maybe I should. And how about you? How about you?
No, I know, but you don't do the "how about you" part very often.
I do. No, okay, I'll do that more. How about you? But sometimes,
but then you have to. Well, it's only if you actually listen once you say it and engage with what's being said instead of sitting there going, "When do I talk again? How do I look listening?" You haven't
not okay. Well, we can gauge it by. Did you bring up something I forgot to follow up on?
Well, I'm here. That was the.
No. Did you not tell us what'd you say you did last weekend?
I don't want to get into a scolding. Into a scold.
Well, why not? Get into a scold. No. Do something. Let's get the energy going. I have things I wrote down on my piece of paper.
Well,
I don't think we should go out.
Brought that out a while back.
Well, here's what I wrote. Okay, I have things to talk about.
All right. What do you got?
No, you want to take a break.
What do you got?
All right. Okay, so I saw this movie on the plane that was great. It's called Bill Murray's Stories.
Yeah.
And have you seen it?
Yeah.
And did you think it was great?
No.
Okay, I thought it was great, and I'll just quickly tell you why. Because I kind of really got into what the positive part of the movie, which was I really resonated that he does have this side to him. I don't know. Maybe you have to have seen the movie, or maybe I know that since you didn't like it that much, I'm thinking maybe you should say why you didn't like it. I just thought it was interesting because it was based on something that he actually has done over the years.
Right.
And these pranks, I think, are pretty funny. Now, they're not, if he came up behind somebody and put his hands in front of their eyes and they freaked out and they elbowed him in the balls, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't do some of these things because you're invading people's space or whatever it is. But some of them are just like he comes in your house and washes your dishes.
Right.
I just thought it was great. I just got into and also the whole, I think the interesting part of the doc, which was it just doesn't matter, which I didn't remember that speech from Meatballs.
Right.
But it's consistent with how his philosophy, Bill Murray, is, because, I tweeted something about how I remember I think maybe Bob Costas was interviewing him, and he was talking about how he hates these Cub fans who they come out because the Cubs are losing. It was the year that guy, Bartman, made the mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever, and so they were, and he's like, I can't stand when they're booing the Cubs. Boo yourself. It's like these guys are out there. He has that part of him where it's just a general. He's celebrating things.
Yeah, no, and it's not what I didn't like about the movie. I think Bill Murray is a great role model in many ways for being present in those things.
Yes,
and that's what he's sort of evangelizing in his life, is being engaged.
Right.
What I didn't like about the movie was just what I don't like about a lot of docs, which is, I'm this doc maker. Why am I making this doc? This doc is about me making a doc.
You know, the thing is, this is why I'm glad I'm not. This makes me not want to be a documentary film. I won't watch it.
Being
that
a
way.
Documentary maker has ruined watching docs for me, because I watch every shot and think about why it's there,
right,
and the decision that was made, and the intellectual property ramifications of it.
I didn't think about
and the storytelling ramifications of it. So I watch every doc that way.
Well, someone signed off on,
but there's some I still like. You know, like I just watched that series on Netflix about called Losers. Did you watch that?
No, what is that?
It's a sports series, and they're all about a half hour or so, which makes it nice and digestible. But it's all about people who sort of reached the near pinnacle of sports and have, you know, these sort of complicated relationships.
I've heard it. I think I've heard a little bit about it.
It's really good. It's worth watching.
I'll watch that.
Not every episode is as compelling as the other, but they're all pretty good, and they're all nice. You know, they use a lot of animation to move the story along, which again I watch as a doc maker and go, boy, I sure see that a lot right now. But I totally understand why you do it, because it takes a lot of headaches off your plate.
I saw a great doc called The 75. Unbelievable, about New York in the 80s.
Yeah.
And this case that's a real case. And all this footage that they have, like wire-style footage, where they have... I don't think it's all wire-style footage. I'm mixing up two things in my mind. But they have a lot of... information about what these guys are saying, and
to whom does
these
75?
Two cops. It's these two cops.
What does the 75 refer to?
The 75th precinct.
Ah, okay.
And so these two cops, mainly this one guy, he goes really, really, it goes dirty. He just starts stealing and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, it's just searing what happened. And also during the worst time period in New York, kind of the 80s, where there's so much poverty and the police were just... It just was terrible. It's just, there's so many murders there, like more than I can remember. If I could remember numbers, but like 1,000 a year or something that was high. That I don't think it is now. And just the total breakdown of all facets of society, like in the Lower East, in this East New York, Bronx, East New York, I think. Bronx area.
Yeah.
So it was just great. It was just really, really great. And it was good because we just try to find things we can watch, me and the wife, that aren't related to Trump.
All right.
So I can pacify myself with lower level true crime things. Not lower level, but stuff that's more predictable. But I would love to get in to watch some documentaries and make it an enriching time for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Shit. Okay, so that was one thing I was going to talk about. Then I got find a blank. All right, so here, another idea of the idea is that I want to be able to come into each podcast with an organized slate of things that I could refer to if I don't know what to say, and reminds me of the week. So, like, what are you talking about? Or maybe what you're talking about would be, at least the topic would be here.
Right.
Because I've ascertained with my psychiatric crew that what's happening is when I start to feel the anxiety, which is from, it just seems like obnoxious behavior.
Right.
Like a layman like you might say. Not a layman, but you might say, the victim. Let's call you the victim.
Okay.
The victim might say... That. This is just horrible. This is just describe it.
I like to call it. He's just talking to talk.
Yeah.
Rather than engage and have a conversation, you start monologuing without any agenda whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it becomes impossible to penetrate.
I can't. And that's what. Being impossible to penetrate was something I heard on my wedding night. Tomato. Come on.
Come on.
We're not going to work the old classics? Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to argue with that what's it called? Characterization.
Okay.
So, well, then the other thing I wanted to say was that I went to Chicago and I ate at Illuminati's. Not Illuminati's downtown Chicago, but Illuminati's out in Naperville.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Same.
What's that?
Same.
You know, the thing
pretty big chain.
It's a chain, but it's like a chain. What is it? Like in 10 of them over the Chicago area or 7 of them. It's such great pizza. It's so amazing. But the first day I got there, I slept and I had a show, but I wanted deep dish pizza, but I just couldn't find a way to order it in time. You know, first of all, at all the places I wanted, it didn't seem any option how to get it to where I was, from where Illuminati's was or Giordano's. So I ordered this pizza based on the ratings of something that doesn't really exist, probably.
Yeah.
Some group. And I ordered this pizza. And I realized
the Naperville Pizza Council says thumbs up.
45 stars by 45 people who hate pizza. It's called It's a Pizza. I find out later. Not later. It hits me that I've ordered pizza from a pizza, shpoopa place.
Wasn't good.
It wasn't very good. The salad was okay.
Yeah.
But the next day I went to Illuminati's, and I just want to tell you, I think it's the greatest pizza in the world. And a little known, underrated treasure is the Lou salad.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Have you had it?
No.
It's like it's got a Greek salad type feel. It's got your different cheeses on it, your black olives. Nothing is spicy. No pepperoni. Don't try and fucking throw some pepperoncini.
Is it spicy? I'd like the salad. Please tell me, is it spicy? Hello? What about pepperoncinis? Are those spicy? Do you have the not spicy ones?
Suffice it to say, or suffice it to say, that it has a very lovely vinaigrette, which I took the salad back, ate it later on that night after the second show at the Comedy Shrine. It was a perfect wrap up night.
It wasn't spicy at all.
All right, now I think you're. Here's the guy that doesn't understand anything. Now I think you're really making fun of me. Well, that's all I have. I think I really did. You know, you were ready to go to a break just because it was a horrible experience. And I was able to rise like I always do, rise to another level. We'll see you after the break. Are we introducing what we're doing, or
I don't know. What should we do?
Can we do an Allison song?
Sure, let's do an Allison song.
And is it Surprise Me?
Let's do Don't Follow Me, because we played that the other night together.
Wonderful. Makes it topical. All right, we'll be back. Don't look at me like when we go on. You could look at me like when we go.
That wasn't a look. I've given you plenty of looks tonight. That wasn't a look.
I don't want us to.
That wasn't a look.
Okay, but I agree with you.
Okay,
I believe you.
All right.
I still don't want to go on break and have you see the microphone swinging away from you, or you covering it or whatever, and you start chewing me out. I'm just a human being.
That's not going to happen, my friend. This is where we come back fresh. We come back fresh from this break.
I don't sound like an alpha male ever, really, right?
No.
Is everything spicy? Was I a bad house? Is the gumbo spicy?
Well, it's just normal gumbo. Is it spicy, though? It's just normal, I guess.
It's normal gumbo.
Yes, but I sometimes have you ever got to
It's just regular, I guess. You know, it's like gumbo.
But is it spicy?
Oh, get some sugar on a stick.
Big key change in there. The big harp solo. Actually, I had to switch harps in the middle of that solo.
I'm amazed at, not that you can multitask, but that you're kind of here's the kind of musician I would say you are. You're a get it. Oh, God.
Right.
You know what? No, seriously, I called my psychiatrist. I was so upset by the first part of the show. I called my psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And at home, and my psychiatrist said to me, who do you think you are that you would call me at home at not, it's like, that's not appropriate.
Right.
So I just want to let you know.
Boundaries.
That didn't really happen.
Speaking of Bill Murray, and What About Bob?
I love that movie. I haven't seen it more than once, though. What's the one with small steps, baby steps?
That's the one.
Oh, that's good. Well, I like a Richard Dreyfuss.
Do you?
I like a Richard Dreyfuss in the movie. I know that he could be. I don't know. I can't admit to having really watched The Apprenticeship of Dud. I can't see you anymore.
Yeah.
You're hidden behind.
Oh, I thought you were breaking up with me.
No, I feel. What? And give up show business?
Hey.
Come on, that's not bad.
No, it was great.
What are you waiting for? What the fuck are you waiting for?
What the fuck when you go, that wasn't bad. What are you expecting from another comedian?
I mean, come on.
No, congratulations.
I mean, if I was where you were sitting, I would barely be able to continue with my role on the show.
Yeah.
From how much delight I was having.
That's good. Let's go to questions so we can,
ladies and gentlemen,
get through the delight.
We're going to questions. And remember, if you have questions for tonight's show, include hashtag TestShow97. Funny, right?
Yeah.
I'm always breaking the fourth wall, Josh.
Shecky Flop Sweat.
I love that name. It's the first time I've heard it, I think. Maybe one time before.
Yeah, probably. And this seems to be a Jerry Lewis delivery required for this to be appropriate.
Is it spicy? I don't mind a little spicy, but is it too spicy? Don't get the overly spicy thing with the jalapeno and the burning and the reflux.
Is that what the request was?
That was the exact quote.
You're reading the quote as...
I was reading the tweet, but I was giving it, I think, what he was hoping for.
Oh,
unfortunately,
lady.
I just did the spicy run before the break, so took a little bit of the steam out of it.
Well, that you can never predict.
Took a couple of Scoville units off of it.
Rory Scovel, we worked with him recently. Very funny. Very funny. I'm like Larry King. Without the emotional.
A.D. Morgan says, I feel certain that last week Andy was about to say he hitched his cartsy to the wrong Nazi. And if he ever does, he gets my vote for whatever.
I think that's a great line. Does that ring a bell to you?
A little bit.
I hitched my car seat to the wrong Nazi.
Cartsy. That's what he thought you said. Cartsy.
Oh, curtsy.
Cartsy.
I said car seat, which makes no sense.
No, but it was cute.
I am cute. Well, I think you hook up your... you don't want to... What do you hook up when you're normally trying to hook your wagon to someone's star? What do you usually hook?
You hitch your wagon.
You hitch your wagon to a star.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It sounds like, what is that, 100 years ago when there were still stars?
Back when you could carry moonbeams home in a jar?
Yeah. Hey, what was his moonbeams home in a... you ever heard any comments from that era?
Yeah.
Hey, what was his moonbeams home in a jar? What's next? Carry some...
maybe I wouldn't like to swing on a star. Maybe moonbeams aren't what my cup of tea.
Hey, fuck you, Michael.
Is there another option, perhaps, for us more earthbound folk?
Hey, Hoagie Carmichael, let me ask you a question. What are you, sandwich? Or is your last name like Carmichael? Makes you think.
Seth Dick III says the NCAA tournament bracket came out yesterday as we hear it. Who do you like? Any sleepers?
I'm
Early
so glad
upsets?
this came. I told you, I hope we get a question about this.
That's right. You know when the NCAA tournament comes on? I'm the sleeper, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. And it also enhances the joke. I think it's going to be... I just was at an area where the people like Marquette, so I think Marquette's going to do it. But the week I was there, Marquette lost. So I'm going to go for the Duke. Dukes will be in the final third. I have no idea. I haven't followed it. North Carolina will be in it.
Yeah. Gonzaga, will they be in it?
Yeah, they should, right? No, they were. Were they a sleeper?
They might be a sleeper.
Okay. Brigham Young.
Weber State.
Could be.
Could be.
So, but you know more about it than I do, right?
Yes, but I think we can agree that's a very low bar.
It is, but I'm willing to get excited about college basketball. I'm willing to be open to it.
It just depends on the situation. Like sometimes when I'm out of town, like I think I will be for a lot of it, I tend to get more into it. Cause it's,
that makes sense.
Hotel room fare.
Exactly. It sounds like something you do on the road.
Yeah.
Are the Lakers out of it?
Yeah.
Is the season over? No.
Effectively, yeah. There's about 15 games left.
Oh, 15 games. Well, that's the thing. I got wind of that, and then somebody said, "Don't worry, LeBron. Everyone always the first year in LA, everybody hates their first year in LA," which I thought was pretty good. I'm not saying it the right way.
Yeah.
But get that memory behind us, and next year, why do I not care more about it? I will care next year when they're better.
Probably towards the end of the season. Yeah.
No. Why not right at the beginning? I'll be bleeding blue and gold. Is that their colors?
Purple, but yeah.
Purple and gold.
Luke Hawley says, growing up, did you guys ever try to get high by huffing glue, drinking cough syrup, or anything like that?
I remember how magic markers smelled. I remember feeling high from them.
Right.
But I never went the next step with it. I never huffed anything because that would have just been so obviously not the right thing to do that even I wouldn't have done it.
Right.
But I did unroll cool cigarettes and put them in a pipe and try to smoke them as a pipe and threw up for, I think, a couple of years.
Yeah.
I did stupid things. I did try to smoke things. Why was I trying to smoke things at 10 years old?
Bored.
I loved firecrackers.
Yeah. You smoke them?
No, but I smoked really bad Tiparillo type things. Or whatever those horrible cigars with the plastic tips.
Yeah.
But you didn't snort glue, right? Or
no, I didn't do it. I wasn't chasing a lot of highs, really.
Oh, I mean, what year are we talking? I mean, by the time I was 15, I was smoking pot, and I was chasing. When I smoked pot, when I was 15, it was. I don't know if I've talked about it. It was a revelation to me. It was unbelievable. I'll never forget the first time I was high. I walked like it was LSD. That's how high I was. I'll never forget. Everything was so funny. Everything was like experience for the first time. I went in and had to devour a whole chicken with my friend. It was like the first time you'd ever eaten. And I don't feel that I want to get high now. Yeah. But that's how it was. Can you relate to that original? Or you never had that?
I never had quite that breakthrough. It wasn't like a whole new world opened up for me, but a whole more sort of comfortable feeling opened up for me.
Yeah.
I preferred it, certainly. But I wasn't, it remained compartmentalized. I didn't become all-day stoner when I was a kid. I didn't go to school high. I didn't get high during the school day.
I think once I started to discover pot, I don't think I did it. I know not during junior high school. I don't remember doing it at school ever, really.
Yeah.
But I do remember doing it a lot during the day when I would. But I wouldn't have had time at school. So I mean, I didn't play hooky.
Right.
I didn't even know what that. Well, who shouldn't do that?
Right.
And I'm not proud of not doing anything like that. I'm just saying, it's kind of boring in a way. Not boring, but I don't know what do I want to have been, a punk?
Yeah, but no, I never went for any of these sort of over the counter highs like that. I
have said the closest I came to that was trying every pill in my grandmother's medicine cabinet.
Right.
I would try one of every pill.
And you're still having hot flashes.
And I don't think I ever did something I knew was like this is for diabetes, or I think I was able to, but anything that had a sound like Darvon or that's what I think I tried once.
Right. Tampon you tried.
But even when you get high from stuff like that, it wasn't that great.
Right.
But I had a big desire to get high. A really big drive to get high. And when I first started acid, I thought it was mind-blowing. And I remember a lot in college thinking, I want to find more acid.
Yeah.
And was not able to find some sometimes. And I would just sit depressed. And then I was thinking, maybe this isn't good. Maybe it isn't good. But then it never happened to that. I ever had to debate whether I take acid every day.
Right.
But I really liked. I was away at school. I bought into the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I bought into the wanting to experiment psychedelically. Very exciting.
Tweet Bahara says, my 2 favorite crime shows are both on the Kindler channel, Murder, Oi, and So I'm the Bad Guy?
So I'm the bad guy?
Greg Kelly says, what's your preferred manner of preparing or eating chicken? Is this among the most mundane questions you've received?
I don't think it's mundane because my favorite thing is not favorite thing, but I love cold chicken either. It doesn't have to be fried chicken. It can be roasted. It usually isn't fried chicken. I love cold chicken breast with salt.
Yeah. Good.
How about you?
That's your favorite? That is the prime chicken.
Well, unless you're talking about coq au vin. I'd say my favorite is coq au vin.
Yeah.
If I had to choose, because it's a great dish.
I'm a big fried chicken fan. I love both the spicy and not.
But you like Kentucky fried? No, you like.
I do like Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't eat it very often, but it scratches an itch.
Is there anything that you could recommend that be upscale, or it can be upscale?
It can be upscale. Boneyard Bistro makes a good duck fat fried chicken thing.
Oh, I'll try that.
On Monday nights they do fried chicken. It's really good. I haven't been there in a couple of years for it, but
what?
Huh?
What?
But I roast a lot of chickens here, I would say.
That's very impressive.
That's the most.
Not that impressive. I'm not saying like
it's not that impressive, yeah.
But doing anything yourself.
Tommy Barcanero.
Barcanero.
I'm moving from New York City to Seattle this weekend. Have you guys ever had any stressful moving experiences?
Every moving experience I've had is stressful. I would think going across country would be...
Andy moving from his house to mine tonight is a stressful moving experience.
Pick up some dishes, look for mints, don't find mints, put the things in, take them out. I would think coming across country would be the hardest thing, but depends on how old you are and how much life experience. Because the early ones were the worst for me because I don't know how I survived anything.
Yeah.
Help me with my futon, please.
Yeah, once you get past the asking people to help you move phase is a big threshold.
Which, if you don't get past it, you don't have friends.
Right.
It's absolutely the worst thing to end up doing.
My most stressful move was probably that when Allison and I and Elon all moved in together, when we had to move our 2 apartments into one house
and
navigate, living together with an 8-year-old, or I guess he was 10 when we moved in together.
And was it a lot of stuff too? Because it's 3 people.
There was a lot of stuff, but that wasn't the issue really.
Can you tell us?
No, I mean, it wasn't like there was an issue.
There has to be an issue. Come on.
But
you have to have a motivation.
We ended up having to buy some furniture in order to fill the house we moved into, so it wasn't a problem with whose stuff were we keeping. It wasn't a fight like that ever.
But it was just inhabiting a space of people who'd never lived together.
Yeah.
And it being a new place.
Yes.
I don't know why. Why am I angry about it?
I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Back off.
The worst one for me...
Chill.
The worst one for me and Susan, now I remember it, is when we moved from my place in the Hermosa Beach, we moved, and no, it wasn't Hermosa Beach. It was Santa Monica and whatever. It was a big move to the apartment.
It's when you moved in together is what you're saying.
I think so. But there were a couple of horrible experiences. One horrible experience, and I can't remember which one was, when this guy came over, and he comes in, and it was just like, I didn't do my homework as a moving company thing, or the roll of the dice. I used something, I don't remember what I used, but the roll of the dice is like a guy, this guy was just like an operator, and he comes in, he goes, he's got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And that was his whole thing. Half of his truck was already packed up on some other job that he was on. Right. So he was running this. So that was the hardest one, most depressing one. And then the other thing was when we moved into together for the first time, and we really had 2 sets of everything, and everything I had was pretty much, I had so much junk.
Yeah. But you were still defensive about it.
No. I really didn't realize, not defensive about it, getting rid of crap, but my initial, I didn't think back in those days that you should ever get rid of anything. It's like, well, look at that. I've got this song, Grateful Dead songbook.
Right.
I also have a James Taylor songbook.
Right.
And that's just some of the best stuff that I think about giving away. Right. I wouldn't give away my Grateful Dead songbook, but I know there's something I would give away. Boz Scaggs songbook. And I love Boz Scaggs, but I'm not pulling it out to play the song, which is... What song would they have there?
I couldn't name a Boz Scaggs song.
Keeping Up with the Joneses, where it's at. Okay. I know. I wonder. You know that song, right?
I don't.
You know, you son of a bitch. All right.
Original Chicken Sandwich says, "Hi, we saw Andy at the Comedy Shrine, and now we are in Cancun on our honeymoon. What do we do out here? Have you guys ever been?"
I have no knowledge of it.
No, I haven't either.
It's Mexico, right?
Cancun, yeah.
How come there's not...
Allison and I have only done one beach vacation, and that was Hawaii, and we were just bored shitless very quickly.
I've never been to Hawaii, and you've been once.
Yes.
And you both did not enjoy it.
Did not that much.
Isn't it beautiful, though?
It's beautiful. That wears off.
Well, maybe it's fun to drink in a tropical setting?
Yeah, but everything closes at like 10.
Is it a tropical setting? No.
Yes.
Oh.
It's Hawaii.
Well, but
you've seen movies and pictures,
I don't know anything.
Right?
I'm a stupid man who refuses to learn about things I don't understand. I thought the tropics... What's the place down south called? Hawaii's to the west of us. It's to the west and
south.
Okay. Just...
It is a tropical island, yeah.
Okay. And it's more beautiful than many places. Like one of the most beautiful places in the world in many ways, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, that's it. I've had a lot of fun Club Med vacations over my...
Have you ever?
No.
Have you ever done an inclusive thing like that?
No. And I have... I was at one point in my life wanting to go on a cruise, and now have no desire ever to go on a cruise, especially after the stories of like the ones where... Like
norovirus ones.
Yeah. And it got stuck for, with nothing going on for... I just don't want it. I already feel trapped with people.
With Shelley Winters and Ernest Borgnine. And all.
What was that one called?
The Poseidon Adventure.
Oh, now the Poseidon Adventure, is that like a modern day Titanic?
Well, sort of, except for rather than sinking, the boat capsizes.
Ooh. Has it happened like in the Poseidon? Why do I feel the need to have it be tied to a real life event?
I don't know.
Because I always go, is that realistic? Who cares? A lot of people died on it.
But this podcast is making me think of the song, "There Has to Be a Morning After."
Oh, that's cruel. That's cold. Our podcast?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Are you getting... I hope you're not going to go into song parodies like this. You know how I feel?
That wasn't a parody.
You're no good.
That wasn't a parody.
I know, that's right. It wasn't technically a parody.
That was straight up Maureen McGovern.
Did she just pass away? Someone passed away.
Someone always passes
Maureen
away.
Murphy. Maybe that was a comic. I don't know. And we'll be back with the in memoriam that's unprepared.
Larry Harold says, Andy, is happiness an option for you? What would it take for you to be happy? And Jelvis, was your thoughtful mellowness in any way an advantage in show business?
I feel that...
I really come off better in that question than you.
Well, in general, you do. I feel that I am actually either happy or in search of happiness. I don't feel like I'm an unhappy person, but I feel I have a lot of anxiety. And I also hate myself sometimes still. But is that an accurate representation?
I mean, I think happiness is a sort of not a very good descriptive word.
Right. I'm more into a state of being where I like my image of it is like a Zen type of Zen Buddhism type thing where you neither want too much or you don't get that invested in the highs, don't get that invested in the downs. You kind of face things with equanimity, if I can use that word. In other words, I long to not wake up panicked.
Right.
I do not long for that even. I would like that to happen. And it is happening, even though it's slow and...
Well, your coin isn't happiness and unhappiness. Your coin is happiness and fear, it seems like.
Exactly.
All right. I think I summed that up well. James Curl says, let's say as a comedy fan in North Carolina with unlimited funds, I wanted to open a new comedy club that all the top comics look forward to playing. What's the key to drawing top talent to your venue? The setup, the pay, the perks, good crowds? Well, all of those certainly help. If I were setting up, or if you were setting up a perfect comedy club, it would be probably 300 seats tops, in terms of that's just fun to play as a club. I would say no food served in the showroom. That's a big suck for a lot of clubs. I would say, comfortable green room. A monitor with the show on it is nice, I find. Good accommodations, good hotel. And then don't bring a bunch of hacks in and make your audience come expecting to see hacky stuff.
That's probably the hardest part of opening a club and the most important decision that you could make. And a lot of it is based on my own, like what I want in a club. So if you're going to open a club and if you're going to open the club and go, I'm going to have anybody who draws people or I can fill the room with, that's where I think you could open yourself up to trouble. But I'm thinking of North Carolina as a pretty cool area.
Right.
And so, like a 200, I would like less than 300, but that's a quibbling 200. I actually like food because I think it could be, but I know what you're talking about. It gets in the way and all that kind of stuff. But it would be just really being, see, I would think of it as I'm going to bring great comedy in every week. That's what, because that would be the product I'd want to bring in. But that's always my solution to anything. But I guess that seems like, how can you go wrong if you think it's great comedy? You know what I mean? As opposed to this balloon animal guy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it has to be about, you have to have taste as a club owner. You have to, and ultimately, I use Acme so much as my model for a great club, but, at some point you have to train your audiences, So, and they're only going to be trained by what you're bringing in, There are some acts you bring in once a month because they sell tickets, and that affords you the ability to bring in lesser drawing acts who are great, who can help fortify people's idea of what good comedy is.
Yeah, and I also believe that you can have that discussion about, you don't have to have all the same kind of acts, but I always think like if I'm going to say what I really believe, I would want a good act every week. Not the same style of good act every week, but I want the quality to be good all the time.
Yeah, and I think you can certainly pull that off. The other part of that equation is building local talent so that the people opening for the good act that you bring in don't suck too, And
I would just think, I don't know anything about it.
So start an open stage and start demanding some improvement from the people attending the open stage for them to continue attending,
And I don't know the cities, but I know it's pretty cool up there. Asheville, or I know there's a certain,
Yeah, absolutely.
God, I should take a class.
There's the whole Research Triangle, and there's Charlotte, and there's cool going.
How
on.
much? And the thing about, here's the way. One thing you didn't cover, but you weren't. It's not like a blanket. Is that I have always felt as a comedian, I'm more in the school of I don't want to take a bath going somewhere rather than I'm hoping to get paid more money, and I don't care how the club does, So I think that's another thing that comics can be flexible on. You can have, like, if you have an upside where you sell out a certain amount of things, because I think that's the main problem right now is how do you market? And I find that for myself. How do you market? What's a way to get people in? Is always a challenge to do all that stuff. And I think if you don't pay attention to how am I going to get people in,
right, you don't get people in.
You don't get people in.
Right.
And I'm not saying I'd be good at it.
Well, like what happened this weekend? You said that you didn't have enough people to do second shows.
Right. And
so how does that work money-wise? Were you doing a door gig, or did you just
I wasn't doing a door gig.
So it was a flat fee for the week no matter what, or was there a bonus? Or
no, it was a flat fee, and the flat fee to me, I couldn't see more than 90 seats in the room. So to me, I couldn't see a situation where you could charge a whole bunch and make money on it above a certain amount, which I thought I was paid fairly.
Yeah.
So, they're thinking of he's an interesting guy. He used to be in Second City in the touring company, and he loves all of these tchotchkes, which are kind of cool. They're all Gilligan's Island dolls and Marx Brother busts. He's got literally a million of them. So he's moving into a bigger space that has like a little bit more of a museum part of it. And I get so invested the week I'm there. This is one thing I think is interesting about me, and neither good nor bad, is when I'm there at any club, wherever I am for 2 nights, 1 night, I all of a sudden think of like, what would I do if I lived here? Is one thing,
right.
And where do I see this club being? Right. And I get excited about it, and then when I leave town, I forget about it. But
sure.
I think I get overly concerned.
Well, it's better than not giving a shit, I guess.
Thanks for that's quite a...
Arthur Nitschke says, so glad you guys watched Boys from Brazil, one of my favorite movies. I think I may have enjoyed Gregory Peck as a villain more than you guys, even if he chewed the scenery a bit. What did you think of the actor who played young Adolphs?
It was so hard to get past the children of I haven't even seen these movies, but the children of the corn feeling of the possessed eyes.
Yeah.
They were creepy. I will admit that young Hitlers are creepy if you're going to believe in the cloning.
But it was all the same kid who played all the different kids with different accents around the world.
I don't know. Is it the same actor?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I've already blocked out that movie.
Yeah.
How many were there, young kids?
There was like 3 or 4.
All right, then you've saw.
But it was the same kid.
Well, you see. Well, then obviously you're more emotionally invested. I think you should take the review part of this.
I thought it was the fact that he was playing this spoiled, dislikable kid
in different languages,
in each accent. They were hammy accents, but it was funny to me that it was the same kid playing him. And this kid never worked again, apparently. I looked it up after the movie.
That's not nice. Well,
he was like the producer's son or something. And
well, he also did a thing like holy moly or something. He would go like, oh, holy. Like he'd say things that would be a child reaction to an explosion. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
he'd go, son of a bitch. Yeah. Something like that. God. He would celebrate the thing. Wow, neato. Maybe that's what it was more like.
What are you talking about?
The little kid. Is it the wrong kid that I'm talking about? Is it this young kid, young Hitler?
Yeah.
How young?
Well, he's like the kid who sicks the dogs on the...
Yeah, young Hitler. Young Hitler. Obviously, I'm talking, it makes sense to me, and I don't think I can make more sense of it because it's not getting through.
All right.
So I'll consult with my people on my end.
Okay, so you're just imagining a movie you saw.
Nope. I think when they run back the tape on this, they'll both fall asleep and get angrier at me.
All righty. Samuel Lechner.
Hi, Samuel.
Hello, gentlemen. Like Andy, I'm a very big Dylan fan.
Thank you.
I recently got the lyrics, "He not busy being born is busy dying," tattooed on my back. If you were to do the same, what lyrics would you choose?
Well, I don't know if I would do it.
I'd go with, God said no, Abe say what?
Wait, and then say, God said, Abe, you could do what you want to, but the next time, and then you go, the next time you see me coming, you better run, and then ...
Oh, Abe say, where you want this killing done? God said out on Highway 61.
Ow, 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 ow. Well, let me say this. I'm always bad at these things like who's your favorite comic or anything where I'm asked to remember something, I freeze up. But I don't think you could do anything better than he who's not being busy born and is busy dying. And there's so many things in that song that are just line for line advertising signs that con you into thinking you're the one that can do what's never been done, that can win what's never been won. Meanwhile, life outside stands all around you. The guy, I don't care if he was on speed, the guy was channeling The Angels. Thank you.
It's all right, Andy. I'm only dying.
Johnny's in the basement mixing up the medicine. I'm on the casement thinking about the government, the man in the bad job paid off. I mean, where do you... I don't come up with those. I know you said you come up with those daily, those type of lyrics.
I do. And I drop them off cue cards.
See? Okay, that's the method.
I don't understand getting lyrics tattooed on your back, frankly.
Well, that's a whole different thing. Well, because you can't see him back there.
Yeah, you're not seeing them. I don't know how shirtless your lifestyle is, but...
I think it's better than putting Nixon on the back.
I agree.
But take the tattoos thing away from it. It's a great line.
Indeed.
Just like I was old, I'm younger than that. I was older, I'm younger than that now.
Arthur Nitschke also wants to know, P.S., have you guys ever seen the movie Failsafe? Similar thematically to Dr. Strangelove from the same year, but more suspenseful.
Never seen it all the way through. Have tried to watch it a couple times. Didn't stop watching. I don't know why I'm talking like a telegram, but I have not seen it. I want to see it, kind of. I know the look of the guy who's like, there's a handsome guy who's the lead or something. Failsafe. He says failsafe. Isn't that what happens?
Yeah, I think that's it. That's the whole movie. Yeah, I've seen it. It pales to me because it's the same exact era as Strangelove. They are such companion sort of movies because of their...
But the tone can't be anything like Strangelove, right?
No, but you miss satire.
I do. In my own act. Yeah. I've only seen Strangelove once, and I couldn't believe it, how great it was.
It's such a great movie. Keith Bush says, I wonder if Andy has any recollection of the psychedelic Bo Diddley thing. It was a truly incredible moment of podcasting that I worry is underappreciated.
Which is in our show?
His face says no, he doesn't remember it. I don't either. So.
Psychedelic Bo Diddley. Well, I'm interested to find out. If you send me anything where you go, listen to this, it's a 50-50, and I do listen, I'll remember it.
Okay.
Psychedelic Bo Diddley.
Mark Thompson says, did either of you collect of comic books? So I shouldn't bust him on the syntax, but yeah.
Yes, I did collect them, but very briefly and never more than a few days. You know, I think back on my life now, I can make it up, but not, if I did it, it was a couple of weeks. It was an ADD type of thing.
Right.
So maybe I had 8 Fantastic Fours.
Right.
That's the truth.
Yeah, no, I never did. I was never into comics. There were comic books I got along the way and liked, but I was never a collector at all.
But since I've been into the graphic memoir or whatever you want to call it, autobiographical, it's not that I've collected them. It's just I want every Daniel Klaus because I love him so much. I want every Harvey Pekar I have. But recently I've been thinking I want to start giving away books, like even the comic books that I don't read all the time, because I feel like there is a weird, I don't have the room for them.
Right.
And I don't like the idea of just storing books, or I'm not looking to get money for them. I just want someone to enjoy them.
Right.
If I'm not going to read them. And that's that thing, that woman on Netflix that my wife enjoys, everyone's talking about, the woman.
Marie Kondo.
Yeah, does it bring you joy?
Right.
And I got a lot of crap. You do too, maybe, but not so much. But you just have the garage, right?
No, I have a big house with lots of shit strewn about it.
But you have enough room. I mean, it's like you don't have a negative. You don't have a storeroom you're paying for. That's where it really comes into. That's where it hits me in the Jew.
No, we have a storage space, but it's mostly it's really Ilan's studio, because it's mostly his art and shit that gets stored there. But it's also a studio space.
Oh, well, I mean, you can work there?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's an actual thing.
Yeah, it's a big space. So it's like a large garage-sized space, so there's room for him to work and keep a bunch of shit.
Yeah, plus everything you're doing, the whole pass-through business thing from the new tax.
Right, exactly. I do a lot of metal recycling there as well. Tweet Bahara says Austin is neck deep in South by Southwest this week. Tonight I have tickets for the Dandy Kindlers doing their new album Karen. Gonna be a great show.
Boy, there's a part of me that's so self-absorbed. I actually would like that to happen. The Dandy Kindlers.
Yeah, I know you would.
I'd sit in with that band.
You'd be invited to, I would think. He Ant says, it's your old pal He Ant here. Cue theme song, which was singing He Ant to the tune of the Pink Panther theme. Come on. That's a little needy, He Ant. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, what are we, Request House?
Request for He Ant. My best friend, we're both 35, just found out he's having his first baby. Advice? I know Andy doesn't have children, but I still want his take.
Well, my advice would be to basically love your children and don't go for that whole thing where you have to be tough on them or tiger mom. Or I think in general, most people's problem is not that they got too much love or that they were helicoptered to death, although I've never experienced that. So maybe that's just as painful as other forms of over...
Yeah, no, you can be smothered, but in general, I would say if you err on the side of over-support and over-love rather than under-support and unexpressed love, then the kid's better off.
And I know from my own childhood that I did not feel all ever like I was listened to or... So I would try to think this would be the one opportunity to really turn it around.
Well, I mean, I think if we look at our own lives and the way we view our childhoods is good evidence. I felt loved and supported and not in danger of losing my parents' love, and that doesn't seem like what you had.
No, I didn't have that. But you know what? Everything is so amazing to me that most of my life is spent with obsessive judging. No, you didn't have that, but it wasn't so bad that you were kept in a shoe for 12 years. It's like it's all mindless, meaningless. And part of me, I'm saying, so what? That's one of my new therapy things. So what? Right. So what? If I can't let go, so what? Which is kind of cool because that's what Bill Murray was saying with it just doesn't matter. And also there's a Paul Simon song called So Beautiful, So What? Which is pretty cool. So I kind of like that so what thing because the noise in my head won't go away from me just saying, hey, how's the voice in my head doing? Hey, I hope you would go away, voice in my head.
Right.
Do you have a voice in your head or no?
Yeah. I mean, of course. I have internal dialogue. But I don't have... There's not a specific character who just berates me.
But don't you feel that you do, in general, communicate with yourself on a moment-to-moment basis? Or not a moment-to-moment, but in general, like... what am I going to do now? What should I do now? What should I do now?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not like it's a dial tone in there. I mean, there's constant thinking going on.
Yes, we think differently. I'm always thinking I'm so close to a breakthrough, some kind of breakthrough in physics. I feel myself like I'm the next Einstein if the next Einstein is someone who doesn't come up with anything.
Yoshi Yamamoto.
Yoshi Yamamoto. Yoshi Yamamoto. Yama.
You know who hated that?
You.
He Ant. Yoshi says, the Jets just signed Le'Veon Bell moments ago, and he deserves to experience this joy on air. I'm high off hope.
Do you know what he's talking about? I don't know these people.
Yeah.
Well, who is the person?
Le'Veon Bell.
It sounds like a name I should know.
He's a running back who had a big fallout with Pittsburgh. And now he's with the Jets. Well,
didn't they also have another guy who they had a falling out with, Antonio Brown?
Yeah, he went to the Raiders.
What's up with the what are the I'm just asking you if you don't know. I'm not trying to be obnoxious. Is it because of Roethlisberger? I mean, what's causing the why are they having that? People want to leave their team.
I don't know.
All right, I like Pittsburgh as a concept.
Yeah,
I like the guy who's the coach. He seems. I actually can't remember who the coach is. I do. I see him now. I like him. I have nothing. Just pretend I'm not here.
Okay.
How come you can't weigh on the Steelers?
Because I don't have much.
You know
to say.
Nothing about it.
I knew who Le'Veon Bell was, but I didn't.
You know what? You said to me, and people don't know that you called me this week, and you said we should probably do a demo for sports guys.
Right.
Like the next Mike and Mike.
Right. Jim Meehan says, while Peck was an odd choice to play Mengele, don't you think they should have cast someone so offensive to Mengele's sensibilities it would force him out of hiding in Brazil, where he was in 1978, to denounce it? Who would you cast for that purpose?
As opposed to Sir Laurence Olivier, or?
No, Gregory Peck played Mengele.
Oh, I thought he was saying who would be the person who would play the person hunting Mengele. No? That's not what he asked?
He's saying they should have chosen someone that would have offended the real Mengele so much
okay, you're
that
right,
he would have had
right.
to come out of hiding and speak up.
That's true.
I can't believe they cast that Jew as me would probably be the first thing.
Yeah, I would think it could be Jeff Goldblum would be something that would
Maury Amsterdam would have been a good choice, I think.
But the thing was,
Myron Cohn.
Why was Gregory Peck doing this? Oh, I'm Joseph Mengele.
I'm Joseph Mengele.
He's Joseph Mengele.
That impotent Jew will not stop me.
Mr. Einstein.
Yes.
Please bring
Mr. Mengele.
Please bring. What'd you say?
I said, yes, Mr. Mengele.
No, yes. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Weinstein. Do I have any appointments today with children whose I injected dye into their eyeballs, and now they're following up 50 years later with the same cerulean blue? Hello, I'm Joseph Mengele.
All right, it's you. You're the person.
I'm Joseph
You are
Mengele.
officially the person. You could have brought Mengele out of hiding by playing him.
What are you doing?
Mr. This insolent Kindler cannot play me.
I think I would do good. You're all going to be experimented on.
Hello?
Where are my twins?
I'm here in Uruguay and the food is very spicy. Even the plantains.
I think I do a lot of, if I was Mengele, I'd do a lot of, I'm Mengele. See?
Yeah, see?
I'm Mengele.
Where's your twin brother now, see?
I knew the longer you talk about the Holocaust, there would become a point where it doesn't make sense anymore.
Chaotic Neutral says, hey, Josh, any progress towards finding a name for this album? How about What Would You Do?
I don't think it's a lasting name, but it made me laugh. And what about you says Jew?
J-E-W. J. Elvis.
Oh,
yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Do it. It's sold.
I have no progress because I've decided I'm just going to wait until the album's done and decide based on its content what jumps out.
I have a couple of ideas. One is feeling kind of funny.
Yeah.
And the other one is, coming. Let's get after it.
I'm thinking of calling it "Hence the Humor" and getting it out first.
That's not funny. You know that
no,
I have
it
a
is
problem.
funny.
I have a problem with everything.
I do. Dana Schwartz says, for show 100, how about you invite your favorite listeners to send in a very short audio greeting? Or for a higher quality product, give volunteers a piece of longer story to read, which when put together, give the surprise hilarious joke, not the aristocrats. That sounds very hard.
Everything that he said made me feel as if there was a task involved.
Yeah, exactly.
For the 100th episode, I mean, we have don't get us wrong. We have a lot of things planned.
Yeah.
We're going to do the top 100 episodes.
Right. In real time.
You know what we should do? Go back over.
2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 weeks.
Right. No, go back over not listen to them, but go back and see, do you remember anything about this? And then just do a recap.
He just nodded off.
I happen to be excited. I know milestones. I'm happy about it.
Are you?
Yeah, because we did it. I didn't think we wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Right.
It's 2 years almost.
Fuck yeah, it is. Yoshi Yamamoto says, Josh, I'm glad you brought up the point about Twitter becoming insufferable due to the constant take culture. I think it's also problematic how quickly many typically smart people co-opt and parrot the same talking points, even if they're not vetted properly. I totally agree. I think it's problematic how quickly many typically smart people co-opt and pair at the same talking points.
I think I hear you. I don't know why I had to add on, but I knew the bit you were doing, and I thought I would help.
Alex says, who are a more insufferable bunch, Bernie Bros or Gervaitheists? Speaking of which, have you heard that Ricky is being accused of recycling jokes on his new Netflix show? Hope this doesn't affect your opinion of the guy.
What are the choices, Ricky Gervais or...
Gervaitheists or Bernie Bros?
I think there's nobody worse than Ricky Gervais fans. They are really, really horrible. But there's on another level, there's nothing worse than the Bernie Bros. They're constantly saying things that are clearly wrong over and over and over again. And it's all around, only Bernie can solve the problem. If Bernie had won, and that, you know what they're back into now? Only he can save it again.
Yeah.
Only he will win. And I don't think a ranting, white-haired Jew is the answer. A Jew, and by the way, not like a Jew who loves his religion all that much.
The only time a ranting, white-haired Jew has been the answer to anything is, hey, what does E equal?
Exactly right. And he was a nicer person. You didn't hate Einstein.
No, I like the way you pronounce his name, especially.
Einstein.
Seth Dick III, I think this is our last one, says, it shouldn't be the last one, but I think it's literally our last one. Who put the bump in the bump, ba-bump, ba-bump? Who put the ram in the ram-a-lam-a ding-dong? Who put the bop in the bop, shoo-bop, shoo-bop? Who put the dip in the dip-de-dip-de-dop? Who was that man? I'd like to shake his hand.
He made my baby fall in love with me. Is that the answer to the song? I don't know. I think that's the type of thing. I equate that question with the type of thing I would do with you sometimes.
Right.
Where
there's nowhere to go with it.
There's nowhere to go with it.
Right.
But I admire that he wrote the whole question out.
Yeah, no, I do too. On some level. I don't admire myself for reading it aloud.
Well, do you think you want to find another question to end strong with? Or when have we ever ended strong?
That's what we got. I don't think we got more.
I have one that was sent to me earlier today. You want me to read it?
Sure.
Dear Andy and Josh, when are you going to do more shows where Andy talks more over Josh's? Josh is good and all, but I really like the shows where Andy doesn't let anybody else get a word in edgewise. Love, not... Well, that's our show this week, unless you can find something else.
No, that's fine.
Josh, anything you'd like to...
Oh, here's something that happened this week. I get a text from Segura going, hey, we're taking a helicopter to one of the gigs. What do you weigh for the captain?
Oh, my... what do you do?
I said, here's my weight. It's a little less once I shit my pants, but not net.
Oh, well, you're looking forward to it. You sound you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, of course.
All right,
It'll be fun.
Look, here's the thing. Leave me a list of 5 replacements you think would be good.
I'll send you out my account passwords.
Yeah, because is it? I have 3 words for you: Black Hawk down. Thank you, Andy. I wish you the best, but all I thought of when you said that was like, oh, I'm not opening up for Tom Segura.
So I love that he will trade money for comfort.
Well, I wish you the best on that, and I hope that when we read the article about it, we feel
they
that... They
mentioned Thought Spiral.
No, we feel that where you were going was like he was on the way to do a dental hygienist convention on a small island, but he went down. He went out the way he wanted to be. He went out doing what he loves doing.
Right.
Trying to save a couple of minutes.
Screaming for his life as he plunged towards the Hudson River.
Because he wouldn't take a regular thing. It could be a lot of fun, though, too. Have you been on a helicopter?
I've been on a helicopter once.
And how was it?
It was good. I liked it.
And didn't you get sick?
No.
Okay. I think it's great.
And this was a much more sketchy helicopter I was on than this will be.
Would you go on a helicopter if Trump was on there with you?
If it was Marine One, I would.
Well, that's all we have.
Go on one that's fucking said Trump on the outside, I'll tell you that much.
Hey, Papa. Well, I think I was disappointed in myself when I first started. I thought there would be some funny things in the OCD update. It yielded nothing. And the thing is, when I'm home thinking about me describing things, it sounds like just the ticket. I think the problem that I've learned, and I have to learn from this podcast, is trying to figure out the podcast like a combination is just one more trick, one more trap to fall into. I just got to be myself.